Hey there, Keto Marnie here. So today, I am going to do a video on my food, but this video here is just going to be crochet stuff. So this is just things that I've gotten done, just a couple of scarves and then other whips that I've got going on. So stay tuned, I'll be right back. So this yarn is really easy to work with. Very smooth to work with. But my intention was to give it to my great niece, and she is only a year old, and I would imagine is still into the pukey stage of toddlerism. And this is a flat dry project. So, I mean, it's machine washable on warm, but then you have to flat dry it. And I don't think Mama's going to want to take the time to worry about flat drying something for the baby. And also, with this blanket, the problem is, if I could find my end, well, I'll use one of these. Okay, so she's a 1-year-old, so I imagine eventually she's going to, she's going to become rough with her toys and stuff. And so this comes apart real easy. Look at that. I just slid that right off of there. So this is probably just going to become a lap blanket for me, which is fine. Because the reason why I bought this yarn to begin with is because pink and green is my favorite color combination. And I had never worked with this kind of yarn before. So it's actually just been sitting on my shelf for several months. I've been trying to figure out what in the world to do with it. And now that I've started it, I'm questioning giving it to a 1-year-old. And also, let me pull this out of here. This particular roll only had one strip of green through it. So you can see from the first roll, this is the second roll that I'm using. The first roll had these wide strips of green. So I figured, I didn't see the one strip of green until I actually got to it. So I figured what I would do is one of the other rolls has lots of green in it like this one did. So to even it out, I thought, well, I'll just use this one for the middle section that doesn't have as much, not knowing that there was one strip in there. And then I'll use another one that has plenty of green in it for the last strip, for the last section, and that would be, that would even it out. So I don't know, I didn't want to have to chop it up to color control it. So anyway, it is what it is. This is just going to be for me now, since I don't want to give it to a toddler, because it's just too delicate a piece for a toddler. So anyway, this is one of my whips, and I think I'm just going to use one more roll and that should do it. I don't know. I might go ahead. I've got 2 rolls left. I might go ahead and just do both rolls. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I don't know what in the world I would do with just one roll. So anyway, that's one whip. And then I will come back with others. So here it is all spread out. And there is that pesky one strip of green. And then this is how much I've got left. And it's very, very, very soft. It is 100% polyester. Very, very soft. Let's see. And there are the washing instructions. This is a Premier. So I like the way it feels. I love the way it feels, but I just don't think it's very practical for a toddler. Maybe a small baby, that would be great, you know, a very small baby, but for a toddler, not so much. So this is just going to become my lap blanket. And I probably will end up using both rolls for this one blanket because I don't know what else to do with that other roll. So anyway, this is one project. Here is one of the scarves that I made this past weekend. This is the yarn that I used. I absolutely love this yarn. Love it. Love working with it. Oh my gosh. And it's soft. I love it. So this is the scarf. I made this one for my sister. I really didn't know of anyone who would actually wear these colors, and then my sister said that she would. And when I first saw it, when I first saw this yarn, my immediate thought was, hey, those are St. Louis Blues colors. I'll get that. Because, well, I'm a blues fan. And she said, that's not blues colors. Well, it kind of is. A little bit, maybe. So anyway, this is it. I really, really like the way it turned out. I love this stitch. Close up of it. I just love this yarn. Oh my gosh, I just love it. So this is one of the projects that I finished this weekend. And now I feel the need to go and buy more of the landscapes yarn. Okay, so that's one of them. And then the other one that I worked on this weekend is this scarf right here. And for this one, I used the Premier Sweet Roll Sprinkles. This is in the colorway of Bubblegum. And I don't know if you can actually see the stitch pattern. It's cables and braids. And you might be able to see it better from further away. And then here's what the back looks like. So, I like it. My only problem is I'm not fond of these cake yarns that just end, period. Just end. I like a striping yarn that has like blends together, and these you kind of have to control the color yourself to get it to come out right. And I didn't fool too much with color controlling, although I did on the border of it. I made sure that I only got the pink part of it. So this one is for my 10-year-old niece. And then I showed this before, but that's for the 6-year-old nephew. And I still have my oldest nephew, whose birthday happens to be today. I'm not even sure. I think he's 28. And my oldest niece, I'm making a blanket for her right now for a wedding gift, maybe for Christmas. She is 25. So anyway, I will show those or I'll show the blanket that I'm making for her in a couple minutes. I gotta clear my space here. So here is the blanket that I am making for my niece, my oldest niece. I haven't decided yet whether it's going to be for a wedding present or for Christmas. It's going to take me all the way up to Christmas to make it because I started out with 6 rolls of yarn. I'm only on my second roll, and I'm going to probably end up buying 2 more rolls just to get it to the length that I want it. So this is the yarn I'm using, and the colorway is Antique White. But I love the stitch pattern. This is a raised shell stitch, and I got this stitch pattern from Glenda at Creative Grandma. That's the one of her stitch of the weeks, and this is the one that I'm using, and I really, really love this stitch. So I've got it folded in half. So you could see what the length of it is. It is folded in half. So this is the back side. Okay. So every other row is just a single crochet, and then the opposite row is the shell pattern. So it's just a 2-row repeat. It's very easy once you get the hang of it. But I love this. I guess just the nature of the stitch. When I first started it, it was curling really bad. It was, looked like this. And so the way I've been working it as I go, I just have it folded and just keep trying to flatten it out. And I know that, the bigger it gets, the more it'll correct itself. So it's already, starting to flatten out a little bit. So I like it. It's cushy. And what I also like about this is I'm not going to have a, whole slew of strings to sew in because I'm only doing one color. So, I've just got this and the ones where I run out. So that is it for this project, and I've got one more to do, one more to show. But this is the big project, and so while doing the big project, I usually need to take a break from it, just walk away from it after a while. And that is when the scarves come into play, and the little blanket, and, things like that, washcloths. That's when I make those kind of things, is just taking a break from the big projects. So anyway, I'll be back with one more project. This is one of my Season of the Granny projects, hosted by Creative Grandma and Krista at the Secret Yarnery. So these squares came from, I got the pattern from Creative Grandma. It is the Simple Daisy Granny Square, and I will link that in the cards or in the description box below, either one. So this is what I'm working on. Part of it I am doing down here, this green part and the white I'm doing down here, and the rest of them I'm doing upstairs. These I'm doing upstairs. I've got the white yarn and I got all these colors upstairs. So here's my stack of squares that I still need to attach, and I still need to, put borders around those. I haven't decided how many more I'm going to do. I'm probably just going to keep making a whole bunch. Maybe I can get a couple of blankets out of this. So I really like this a lot. I love this pattern. And this is a flat braid join as you go. And it is just so bright and spring-like. So this is it for this pattern. So this is my second Season of the Granny project. The other one I showed a couple weeks ago. So anyway, that's it. And I will show the other projects that are up in the air. Don't know if I'm ever going to finish them because I don't remember the hook sizes that I used because I was silly and didn't write it down. So anyway, that's it. That's eventually going to be something. I only have one roll of yarn for this, but I was just playing around, seeing how I liked it. Eventually I'll get yarn for doing a project like that. And this is all of my washcloths. small ones, large ones, and then like scrubbies underneath there. And more washcloths. Gosh, this is a hat that my dad bought me back when I was in high school. So more washcloths. And here are the squares. Just multiple colors, all in, you know, like beige and brown. And I don't remember what hook size I used for these. But I think I'm ready to join them together. I needed one more square to add to this, but I think I'm just going to stop at that and then join them together and have a small blanket, you know, like just a small throw. So anyway, that's one project. And then this one. I really like it. I just wish I could remember what hook size. So anyway, that is my whips and what I'm working on. And until next time, bye.